Dynamo Nation, what's going on? Thank the fantasy gods, and I truly mean that week 9 is over. I don't know about you guys, but I had about enough of that steaming pile of dog to last me for the rest of the season. I had so many players that normally boom, went bust. Teams that normally play well, went broke. I don't know what happened. We're going to sit here and unravel it though, figure out what went wrong. Stay tuned. We're going to dive right into it. Dynamo Nation, thanks for joining me today. I want to take a brief moment to let everyone know we've hit 12 subscribers on the channel. It's been about 2 weeks since we started this. I'm very grateful. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, our 12 subscribers. Anyone who's done anything to help support this channel, I appreciate it so much. If you're here, if you're new to the channel, and you like the content you're getting ready to see, please consider subscribing. It would really help me and the channel grow. Now that that's out of the way, 5 quick observations from week 9. The first is going to be Javonte Williams. The bus is getting ready to run loose. Williams, if you don't have him in Dynasty and you've considered it or you missed out during the draft, this might be your last chance to go get him. He's looked better and better each week. And what he just did week 9, this is it. This might be your last moment. And we all know how it is when young running backs in Dynasty. When they blow, they stay there for a while, especially on teams. And it's going to be very expensive to get him off of a roster. So if you have Williams, keep him right where he's at. But if you're looking for a young Dynasty running back, I think Javonte Williams is getting ready to blow up to the next stratosphere. Grab him now while you can. Speaking of running backs, our second point is going to be Aaron Jones. His Dynasty value is in trouble. It's in real trouble. I've been talking about it for a few days now. That backfield with A.J. Dillon, we're starting to see a legitimate split. Beginning of the season, it was 70-30. It's trending to 60-40. But not only that, we're looking at the snaps are starting to become way more even. Jones had 12 carries, I believe. And I think A.J. Dillon had 12 touches total. So, and Dillon looked better with his touches. Dillon scored in double digits 5 out of the last 6 weeks. If you have Aaron Jones in Dynasty, you should be worried. And it might be time to consider moving on from him for a multitude of reasons, not just A.J. Dillon. Aaron Rodgers is probably gone next year. So if I'm sitting on Aaron Jones in Dynasty, knowing that A.J. Dillon is coming in through the pipeline and they use a second-round pick on him, and there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers is gone and that offense is going to look completely different next year, right now is the time to cash in. He still has that name cachet. It's not a full 50-50 split yet, but it's trending that way. If you have Aaron Jones in Dynasty, you need to move on right now. Speaking of moving on and Dynasty value tanking, Adam Thielen, welcome to the show. Mr. Thielen, you've been a great receiver, but you're 31, going on to your 32 age season next year. You are way past the point of no return for me in Dynasty. I start trading receivers at 28. If you have Thielen and you're counting on him, he's a low-end wide receiver 2 at this point. The only floor that he brings for you is a TD threat in the red zone. That's where he's at and still useful. When that goes away, Thielen's not going to have any value. If you have Thielen, if your team's struggling, even if it's not struggling, if you can package Thielen and upgrade somewhere else, you need to do so. It's time to move on. That ship has sailed. He's been a great receiver. I loved watching him play. But for Dynasty purposes, you cannot be married to these players. Don't let your emotions get caught up. It's time to move on. Thielen's value in Dynasty is sinking faster than OBJ's value once he got traded to the Browns. His career. Like, that's where we're at with Adam Thielen. And speaking of the Browns, look what happened with that offense. OBJ's gone, and the Browns come back to life week 9. That whole offense looked so much better, more fluid. Baker looked more comfortable. You see Donovan Peoples-Jones rip off a 60-yard touchdown. He caught another great pass on the sideline near the end zone. Now might be a time for the Browns, because when OBJ went down last year, and they played without him the back half of the season. Baker turned into a quality QB1 streamable quarterback second half of the year. He was in that QB 9 to 12 range. I mean, and he's probably, especially in the redraft, he's probably sitting on waivers how bad he's been. So if you do play the QB stream game, which I advocate for, if you can't get one of those top 2 or 3, 4 guys, then stream your QB position. And the Browns present some unique opportunities. Jarvis Landry was a high-end wide receiver 2 back half of last season with Odell out. I believe his numbers are going to go up. Austin Hooper was a tight end 1, low-end tight end 1, back half of the season with Odell out. I believe his numbers will rise. You have that, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones, who looks like he's going to ascend into that wide receiver 1 long ball threat. Not to mention Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and I still believe in Dearness Johnson until Hunt comes back. So the Browns have some unique opportunities. They really laid it to Cincinnati in Week 9. And then speaking of Cincinnati, Jamar Chase. Chase was double-teamed, and he was double-teamed often Week 9. But he still saw 13 targets, which is crazy. Chase is locked in as the Dynasty wide receiver 1. There's no disputing it at this point. You're getting double-teamed. They're still finding a way to feed you 13 targets. If you have Chase, lock him up. Tired of Fort Knox. Don't let no one touch him. If you don't have Chase, by any means necessary, do whatever you have to do if you're needing a legitimate wide receiver 1 in your Dynasty League. Go get Chase. His value, and as crazy as it sounds, how well he's played, his value right now is probably the lowest that it's going to be for the foreseeable future. Go get Chase if you can. I think there's a lot of interesting things that came out of Week 9. A lot of injuries. We have the Chase Edmonds injury in Arizona. That's going to be a big blow. High ankle sprain, 4 to 6 weeks most likely. James Conner immediately, if he has that backfield to himself and he caught passes this game, immediately is a mid-tier running back 1. So he's someone to look out for right now as well. Seattle, Russell Wilson's going to be back in Week 10. It might be time to check in on the DK or Tyler Lockett owners in your league. You know, their numbers have been down with Geno playing. And just see. Maybe they're not paying attention. Not realizing that Russell's coming back early, Week 10. And you might be able to grab him before they have a blow-up week. So I do want to say, this is for me personally. This is how my lineup went this week. If you're in a similar situation, brighter days are ahead. My lineup this week, and I lost this week in my main league. DJ Moore. Before I go any further, Matt Rule. I'm talking directly to you right now, Matt Rule. Get Sam Darnold the out of the game. That dude sucks. He's going to ruin CMNC, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall, Robbie Anderson. There's going to be no value left on any of them right now. Maybe CMNC. But everybody else, DJ Moore is a top 10 Dynasty wide receiver. But in redraft, he's like a wide receiver 4 right now. Get Darnold out of the starting lineup for the love of God. I'd rather see Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite back there at this point.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains? Yeah.
It's that bad. 2, CeeDee Lamb. He was hurt this week. Prescott was just coming back from injury. Don't panic. 3, Kyle Pitts. Started off hot. Atlanta pulled out a win. There was about 3 or 4 touchdowns within the 5 or 6 yard line that Pitts did not see a target for. That's an anomaly. Do not panic. Jamar Chase, only 6 passes, no touchdowns, but he had 13 targets. Like we said earlier, don't panic. The moral of this is if you have young players and young studs, you're going to have weeks like this where they don't produce. Do not panic. Repeating it, do not panic. Your young players are going to have these struggle weeks. And that's what week 9 was. For me, I started Moore, Lamb, Chase, Goddard, and Pitts this week. Started all 5 of them. And all 5 of them were hot. And it is what it is. But I'll be all right. You're going to be all right. It's going to be an interesting finish to this season. It really is. So that's our quick recap for week 9. Stay tuned for more content this week. There's going to be a lot coming out. Tomorrow we're going to have a couple of interesting videos. We're going to have one. It's more of a dynasty video. There's going to be a two-part. One for wide receiver, one for running back. And it's at what age do we need to start shopping our receivers in dynasty? Like at what age do they start to trend down? Same thing with running back. At what age do they trend down? So that's going to be, it kind of goes both ways. What age do they blow up, start their ascension, and then when do they descend? So be on the lookout for both of those this week. We're going to have a waiver wire series of videos this week, waiver wire pickups for offense and IDP. And then we were going to have a start-sit video series starting this week as well. So again, thank you for all the support. I appreciate everyone. Legitimately, I appreciate everyone who has liked, commented, subscribed, interacted with me, sent me a message. I really do appreciate it. Again, if this is your first time here on the channel, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. Last thing I'll leave you with is if you guys have any topics that you would like for me to go into or to cover, please comment below. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's fantasy football related, it doesn't have to be dynasty, fantasy football. If there's any topic that you're not seeing that you want more information on, or you just want to know what my opinion is on it, please comment below. If I have a couple of different people who comment and have a couple ideas, I'll try to knock all these ideas out for you guys. At least 3. Give me 3 things. So comment 3 things for me below, what you want to see, and I'll get to them. All right. You guys have a great week. Stay safe. Be on the lookout for these videos, and let's get at it in week 10. All right. See you.